Hey guys, so today we're going to go over mixed numbers and improper fractions. So just to recap, yesterday we did where I showed you that a fraction is actually written as a division problem as well. So this would be 1 over 3 or 1 divided by 3. And to recap too, the numerator always goes in the house. So 1 divided by 3, remember the first number is always the one that goes in the house. So that is very important. And then also, just to kind of put this in perspective, you guys do this all the time because when you average your grades in class, notice that usually I'll let you get like a calculator if you want to calculate your grade. And you always do 24 divided by 25, and then that would give you your average. Okay? So you guys actually do this all the time, but you're just not using a calculator now. Now you're actually working them out. So, when you have an improper fraction, that means that the numerator is greater than the denominator. Okay, so it's larger, so it's improper. To make this into a mixed number, do your 3 divided by 2. Okay, I'll color code this. But 2 goes into 3 once. Okay, so that would be your whole number. Okay, 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, then you'd have your remainder, which would be 1. Okay, your remainder is always going to be the numerator, and then your denominator stays the same. Okay, so 3 over 2 as a mixed number would be 1 and 1/2. All right. Start all that over. Okay. So we'll try another one. So let's look at let's look at number 6. So it's 21 over 2. And I'm going to show you how to do this into a mixed number and then how it correlates with improper fractions. Okay, so we have our 21 divided by 2. So 2 goes into 20, or 2 goes into 2 once. Okay. Okay, normal. Okay, so a remainder would be, sorry, running out of room. So it'd be 10 remainder 1. Okay, so that means our whole number would be our 10. Okay, the remainder would be our numerator, and then don't forget the denominator always stays the same. So that's like a big rule. So So don't forget this rule because it's super, super important. It's going to be the same when we do mixed numbers as well. So if you wanted to check this and see if we are correct, okay, you can do how we would normally do making our mixed number back into an improper fraction. So when you do it this way, you would take, so I always have my students do a multiply here and then a plus. And then usually we color coordinate, so you're more than welcome to do that. And I always use a highlighter. Okay, so to make this into back into a mix or an improper fraction, you do 2 times 10, which would be 20, add 1, and you would get 21. Okay. And then remember the rule I told you, denominator always stays the same. So our denominator is going to be 2. So as you can see, we have the same number there, so we know that our answer is correct. Erase all this. All right, so I'm going to look at some more improper and mixed numbers. So if we have 2 and 3/4, we'll look at number 2. And I'm looking at your book page, so I'm actually on page 220. Okay, so again, we have our multiply here, and then our add here. And this is kind of one of those things too, once you do these a bunch of times, it's just going to stick really well in your head. So 4 times 2 is 8, and then if you add 3, you get 11. So that's going to be your numerator, and then don't forget the denominator always stays the same. So your answer would be 11/4. So super, super easy. If you wanted to check it, you could do it the way that we did when you do an improper into a mixed number. So you have your 11 divided by 4. 4 goes into 11 2 times. Okay, so that would be our whole number. 4 times 2 is 8. And then 11 minus 8 would be 3. So that would be your numerator. And then your denominator always stays, well, it's a funky 4, but you see what it is. So 2 and 3/4. Okay? So pretty easy enough. Before I let you go to try some on your own, I want you to look at number 9. So it's going to be on page 220. Okay, so you have these pie-looking things. All right? So you have 2 that look like this. And then one's halfway shaded in. These are all shaded. Okay, so in the directions here, they want you to write an improper fraction and a mixed number. So here, if you remember from the first lesson, you know that this would be 1 whole, okay? This would be 1 whole, and this is a half. So if you add these together, you would have 1 whole plus 1 whole would be 2 wholes, and then you have a half, okay? And then they also want you to make it into an improper fraction. So if you did your multiply here, your add here, okay? So it would be 2 times 2, which would be 4, okay, plus 1 would be 5. So your answer would be 5/2. Because remember, your denominator stays the same, okay? So in this one, you would have your 2 and 1/2, and then you'd also have 5/2, okay? And that is it. So if you have any questions, I'm leaving you with some homework, but feel free to message me. I'll be on this morning, so you will, 9 to 12, so you can ask me questions anytime. And I miss you guys, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.